Hello and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. I'm just about full and getting a load of oil sands because we need a lot more polymer. And you may think, how'd you get to the oil sands? I don't see the car. That's because the wave skimmer learned a new trick. The wave skimmer now knows how to sit on its tail. And, that's everything we can put in. Excellent. So, yeah. This works surprisingly well. And as long as you can thrust up and you can take off like a rocket, you can do this. Which is excellent. And we can just rotate ourselves back towards our base. We are heavy right now, but that is alright. We're bringing back a whole bunch of oil sands. So we'll get ourselves up to speed, and then we'll put our override on about, say, 50%. Lock our gyro, and we are slowly gaining altitude. Right about there. So, what's going to happen in today's episode? Well, we need to start thinking about the long term. I actually had this rant at the end of last episode that I'm like, you rambled for 15 minutes, nothing was happening, this is not fun. So I removed it, and we'll do it now when the wave skimmer is flying home. So I'm going to leave this going, but open up map to globe here, which is the map of Agaris. So you can see here, there is the oil patch we just left. We're flying back home to our iron patch. So we are currently just about to pass the river right here. That's where we are. Right there. Flying home. And we need to think about our long-term goals on Agaris. One of the reasons why I chose this spot as my starting position is that you have the iron nice and close. Silicon and cobalt and nickel and stuff like that are easy distances away, so you can just go and get some with a starter boat or a starter rover kind of thing. And I basically had the first 10 episodes completely planned when I started the series. But as you go further and further out, and you need more and more resources, stuff like the silver becomes a really long drive, or a shorter flight, but still, it's a distance to get to that silver. It starts to get annoying, especially because certain ores, which are going to take a lot of, like, I'm going to need a lot of them, particularly oil. I am far away from oil. So I'm going to either need to lay a pipeline, or I'm going to just not have a lot of it, which is going to be annoying. So I want to move. And I'm thinking I want to plunk my butt down somewhere where there's some good resources, where we've got some rare stuff nearby. But looking through this map, I noticed that on this side of the planet, there is actually a much better distribution of interesting resources. Like, for example, this is the only tantalum on the entirety of the map, right here. And this is the only gold that's on the surface. There's only 2 nodes of lithium. There is only this one spot for platinum in the entire map. And, you know, there's gold, there's silver down here, there's gold in the water there. There's just, this side of the planet has sort of the more rare resources than this side of the planet. So as such, I think we have to move. Because if I ever want to get into the late game stuff, I'm going to want to have access to platinum. I'm going to have access to tantalum. And if I ever want to make like good batteries, I'm going to have to go to the desert and liberate this lithium. And I don't want to have it that every time I want to make a battery, I have to get my boat and go out here and come around here, come all the way over to lithium, pick it up, sail it all the way home, and plunk it off. That's too much work. Now let me just readjust my my pitch here in the game real quick. There we go. And back to the map. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a boat, and we're going to sail around the waters here and past the desert and into these archipelagos. And the question becomes, which island do I settle on? And I think it is a choice between this island here in the northwest and this one here in the east. This one is nice because it's much closer to lithium and gold. And it's got a cobalt right there, which means that I don't have to worry about cobalt. I can essentially just build on the cobalt node. Oil and bauxite can just get piped in. So that's great. But it has no niter. And niter is required to make bullets. If I don't have bullets, that's kind of scary. If I don't have the ability to constantly make more ammunition, that's a resource that's going to be constantly used up unless I do something about it. Where this island is better, we have that niter available. We also have the oil patch right there, which we could essentially live at the oil patch, which is quite nice. It's a resource that I'm going to need a lot of. We also have the bauxite that is very short pipeline distance to bring to the oil. Closer to the tantalum, about the same distance to the platinum, but it's a little bit farther from the desert, a little bit farther from the gold and lithium, at least the surface gold. There is underwater gold if we want to go for that as well. So I'm thinking out of this side of the map, I want to move into this archipelago. There's also an allied trading base right here. This big base we can also trade with, but you can only land there with planes because it's up in the mountains. They do have a runway beside them, but you can't take a boat to theirs. So I'm thinking I'm going to land and set up base somewhere near this oil. Going to be either like in this section here or on this beach here. Probably in this section right here. So that is going to be the future position of my base on Agaris. And yeah, that was the stuff I wanted to talk about. The reasoning why I want to do these things, move to this location that I cut from the last episode. Because I'm thinking, we make the boat from here, we're going to sail around, come all the way through here, land at this oil, and then we will set up pipelines from this bauxite, this niter, bring them to this oil here. We don't really need spare iron because we've got so much we can just get from drilling dirt, which we will get from just excavating the niter and bauxite and oil anyway. That if we need cobalt is a very simple pick up from here, fly over and land here, and then we just need to set up an excavation site and then a pipeline down to the shore to a dock where we can pick up the cobalt from a seaplane, which will be perfect. Because I was thinking about it, being like, okay, if I was in an emergency situation and I was out of whatever resources, which resources could I be out of? And I'd be like, no, okay, I'm fine. I'll survive. And to not have the ability to make bullets is a very important thing. So that's why I'm valuing the niter, living closer to that, higher than living closer to the cobalt. But yeah, that is the reasoning why we're doing the move. And then once we get over here, we'll make our big permanent base with big sprawling industrial overhaul factories and like huge oil refinery systems and all that kind of stuff. But put that away for now. We are just a few kilometers away from base as that rambling took our entire flight home. And we do have some upgrades to the wave skimmer, which we can look at while we are waiting for this final bit. We put on the missile turret, which is absolutely awesome. This thing has probably... oh wait, still the Gatling turret. Oh, I haven't changed this yet. Okay, we'll put on the missile turret. But yes, we need to change that for a missile turret. But other than that, we extended out the wings a little bit more. A couple extra wing blocks and extended it back a couple more. And we've also added these little peg legs so that we can do that tail stand in order to land at various landlocked resources like the oil. It's actually very easy to do, because all you need to do is just turn off your overrides, have your dampeners on, pitch up to about 90, and you'll come to a crawl, you'll come to a hover, essentially, and then you just slowly descend, and then land on your tail. It's absolutely beautiful. But for now, I'll just go plunk myself down, get ourselves parked up and our resources processing. And then I'll show you the ship that I want to build, which I teased on Twitter, and I got heavy inspiration from an existing ship, and I need to give it all the credit that is due. God, this dock is a little glitchy. No, I just want to change these so I can get my... Oh, okay, Clang. Oh, okay, Clang. Will you calm down now? Holy crap. Holy crap, dudes. Just tighten up. I bet if I take off this hinge lock, they're gonna like explode. Come on. What is going on? There we go. We needed some shear inertia tensors. That's what we needed. You are connected to a very large base. You should not be wiggling that much. Okay, that was fun. God. See, Clang sometimes reminds me that he exists, but he is gentle. He just sort of goes, "Don't you forget about me." And I go, "Yes, Lord Clang. Yes, my, oh, benevolent one." And I give him some sacrifices. But yeah, okay. I need some water. Water. Where be my food? There they are. Excellent. So we're going to quickly throw on. Oh, I already had it on. Excellent. We're gonna have. Show off the ship that I want to make, which is Her Majesty's Canadian ship, because I'm Canadian, temporary. I don't have a name for it yet. You guys can help me with that. And then we're going to have the Aurora, Oceanic Research Liner, which is essentially what this thing is based off of. And you will see the similarities quite quickly. The exterior has essentially the same rough profile, but then that's where it stops. So this is what I like to do with various creations on Space Engineers as my first attempt to make something that looks good in a certain category. So like, for example, this is the first boat that I'm making that I want to look good. I want to make a good looking boat, so I find something on the workshop that I like, I strip it down, and I rebuild it in my style. And that's essentially what I did here. So the Aurora, I really liked the cockpits, the bridge, the little navigation arm things, and at the rear landing pad. That was all great. I loved that aspect of it. Downside from this design is this armor is so jagged. It's not smooth. I really didn't enjoy that. So, the first thing I did was smooth out that front hull. Make it a nice, even angle back there. Smooth. Oh, just like, I feel like I could just like rub my face against it. Mwah, smooth. Sort of thing. I know I'm weird. Just stop. Beyond that... Oh, God. Missiles incoming. Base, wake up! Oh, God. Those are actually hitting nearby. Where are my crams? I got one little turret trying to do his thing. Come on. Where's my... anti-missile turret? You have no ammo, don't you? You piece of crap. Here. Take some ammo. Make sure all these turrets are looking for the cram ammo. Yep. Shoot down some enemy missiles, damn it. But anyway. One of the things I did for this was... make more room on the bow so that I could properly have two turrets on it that were super firing positions. So super firing, in case you don't know, is where one turret is lower in the front and one turret is higher in the back, just like these two are, so that they can the one in the back can shoot over the one in the front. So that way, from the front, I can have both turrets firing. That is super firing. So I got a pair of super firing turret positions in the front. I've got a Sea-Whiz, which I got yelled at in my Discord of how to pronounce this. Not Swizz or anything like that. It's Sea-Whiz, although I don't understand exactly how, considering the abbreviation, but whatever. Sea-Whiz on the front there, top of the bridge, and then here on the back for anti-missile defense. And then a spot for a drone to land with a connector that is piped up, where on this ship it's just a H, where you could land something, but you couldn't transfer resources or recharge it. This is a good looking ship. It looks great. That's all it does. It's got a submarine bay. That's wonderful, but that isn't conveyored up. It's just lifting it up. So you can't use this as a miner. And its internals are... There's a bunch of unused space in here. It's using hydrogen tanks as its floaties. So I would have to fill up all those hydrogen tanks, which would take forever. It's got a bunch of like random... Like, this is like old style Space Engineers building of like before we got beds and stuff. You'd put passageways sideways to count as beds. What is that? Crossing position ground cargo ship. Okay, that's not related to us. So it's a good design. This is a really cool ship. It's just an old design, in my opinion. I love the shape. The innards, no, not a fan. So that's what I did. I took the shape, rebuilt it, and then remade the innards to my own specifications. So in the bottom of the ship here, we have a giant open space that is just literal, just tons of space. We could essentially fit our entire industrial overhaul setup into this area, and I think minus the really big ones like oil cracking and such, but all of our basic refineries and assembly could be remade into this boat, which is awesome. We have a nice big galley where we'll be able to put all sorts of functional block, like some medical bays, some programmable stuff if we need it. Easy access back to the drone port, which is properly piped with the rest of the cargo. All of the turret emplacements are piped as well, as you can see. That one going back there. This one up on the roof, all piped up. right over top of cargo access right in the bridge, which is probably where you'll be spending most of your time. No cargo access up here, which is a very sad thing. So, not built for survival, built to look good. So we want to get rid of that one. However, the Aurora, made by Mike Angel, beautiful ship. It inspired me, and it is the poster child of the water mod, because it's actually like on the water mods like mod page as like the images showing off the mod. So there we go. So I've stolen your shape and I've remade it into what I'm going to call a Corvette, because it is still fairly small. Comparing to our base there, it is essentially the same size as our base. And it's actually kind of like you just take our base and then put it in the water, because it's going to have similar defenses, and actually probably less defenses now that I got these new turret emplacements in position. But it's going to have similar production capabilities. So that is what we're going to build. And to do that, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get out of creative mode so we can go back to being awesome. And we need to start building it, which will be through a projector. So we'll grab everything we can. Hopefully, cannot draw. Excellent, we got everything we need for make it. I'll also grab several steel plates, because what I'm going to do is, I think off of this corner here, we're going to go straight out with all of our blocks. And I'll want to go out far enough that I can get out deep enough, which this should be more than enough. When I did the testing, I could bring the ship basically like edgeways here right onto the dock, so this should be far enough out that I can project the ship. In case you're wondering, the two vertical is forward, that is upwards, so that is facing outwards from that position. And then I can align the ship so that it's touching this grid once I get onto the projector. Just need to load the projector. We're going to go blueprints, and we'll go to our temp. Her Majesty's Canadian ship temp. Oh god, that's beautiful. And now we will grab onto the projector. Pitch. We will go to spectator. This is a nice trick. You go into spectator while your character is still looking at the projector, and you can still open build vision, which is very nice. And we can rotate ourselves around that way. That's good for our pitch. We'll forward this out a few more times. And then drop it down. The black is waterline, so I want it there. And then bring it up until it connects. I just want to make sure the rest of the blueprint is like not going to be an issue in the water. And I'll just pull it forward. So it's about midship. Which, yeah, seems a bit about minus 20. And we should be good to start building up the ship. Now, I'm not going to build this by hand, because this would take forever. And I'm just not going to do it. So as such, bring back an old friend. Hello, build and repair system. How I've missed you. Yes, I know. Build and repair is a little silly. And makes some things pretty easy. But for these large projects, building giant ships and such, we are going to need build and repair, because while build and repair will automatically weld stuff for us, it still needs its resources, and we're still going to have to need like the complex industrial overhaul setup in order to have build and repair actually do anything. And for the first while, build and repair will be just busy finishing up building this base, all of the unplaced blocks. So it's going to take a while. I thoroughly suspect that I'm going to have to leave my computer online for a very long time while build and repair does its work. And I need steel tubes. Ah, give me those construction components. 2 more. 1. There we go. Got it. Alrighty then. Ah, build and repair. It's been a while. We'll set you down to 10% volume because I know how goddamn loud you are. And I want to make sure that this area is fully engulfing the ship. It's going to be a walk mode because it is connected to the same grid. And yeah, the ship isn't even in its zone of influence. So we are going to need to move its zone slightly forward. So we'll do the same thing we did for the projector. We'll get on like that. We'll get into spectator camera. We'll open it up. And I can't do that from spectator camera. Okay. I learned that today. You have to go in right into the control panel. But that is alright because forward offset probably of about 30 meters will do it. And just barely. We'll go to 40. We're also going to set it to go slightly right as well. So we cover the entirety of our base and it gets all built up. So we'll go 40 meters and then we'll go to say 20 meters right. Is that cutting off the back of the ship? It is. Okay. Only 10 meters right. Horizontal 10. Which should be perfection. Get around this end of the ship. Get around that end of the ship. So it should be all built up. Plus we will get our most of our little parking spot up there built. And now we can unleash the build and repair and turn off that show area. There's your show area. Somewhere down here. There we go. And now, stuff is being welded. Although, it is going to take a very long time to build. But at least I have a build and repair helping me. Other things that I need to do, now that that ship is being starting to be worked on, are you repairing things of the... It's repairing things on the wave skimmer. Yay! Excellent. That is always a joyous occasion. And I need more water. Collector on for a bit. Yeah, give me that ice. Give me that glorious hydrogen. I'll leave it on for a couple minutes here. I need to get some more ice into the base. Alright. So while that is working, this will do its darndest to build up base and to work on stuff. However, I have to think about the resources in my base and to properly feed that thing. This boat has a lot of flotation foam. So I need to have enough synthetics that I can actually build that. So if we go to our synthetics factory, I believe it is. Synthetics factory. Yes! We need buoyancy foam. And to do that, we need to make plastics, which come from polymers. So, I'm going to go in here to the synthetics factory, We're going to say, please have 100 buoyancy foam on hand at all times. And it should kick in. Yep, there we go. However, it's full of gravel, because gravel is getting very annoying right now. So, for that, we're going to set up, probably about right here, a gravel ejector for this connector. Because we do have the ability now to get the sorter. We have conveyor sorters. They are a thing. We have the resources for it. And once we put on the sorter, we can say sort for gravel, and then we can chuck the gravel out. And I think one of the issues that is coming from this is that the rock crusher, which I'm going to turn off, has just been crushing rock into gravel without getting anything out of it. So the rock crusher has been counterproductive, instead of where, say, these refineries, where they get some resources out of the stone, and then they just have some leftover gravel. So the rock crusher was not helping me, and that would have been a lot better if I had a proper base layout, which I will get when I move. Fabricators are plugged up because they're full of stuff. Yeah. This is the current problem with my base, is that resource containers and stuff are filling up, and then things are starting to stop functioning because they're plugged. So, yeah, I just need a bunch of construction components. We can also just get the connector going, which will need to go on the end of that, which I don't think I can add until I... Connector, can I not just add that to the build planner? Yes, I can. And I can grab its materials and at least start building it in the meantime. Oh, and build and repair is helping me build that thing, because it is such a nice build and repair. It knows that I'm working here, and it's trying its darndest to help out. Oh, you're so nice, build and repair. So with this conveyor sorter, we're going to want to go to whitelist, and we'll set it to drain all. There's nothing in the whitelist, so it won't do anything yet. Then we can go down here to our G and find gravel and get it in there. Because, ugh, gravel. Check our plate stamps. Make sure they're properly functioning. Yeah. Plate stamp 2, are you not working in cooperative mode? Make me more steel plate. I will 100% need it, because there is going to be... Actually, yeah, make me 1,000. You make me another 1,000. Because it's that thing's going to fill up all of this armor, and yeah, we're gonna need it. And now that's just more construction components. Again, this is my entire life right now, is making sure that various bits and bobs are in the right order. We need to make these construction components first so that we can get that going, and then we can make the electromagnets, you know, that kind of stuff. Eventually, in the future base, I'm going to have I will have a thing that is building a certain thing. Like, I will have a fabricator that makes construction components 24/7. Only construction components go in that fabricator. So we'll never have these things where it's like, oh, I've got to make 100 electromagnets first before I can actually even build that thing. Hey, yes, you built that up. And now you're going to fill up with gravel, and I can set you to throw out. Just throw away all that gravel. And it can just pile up here, and I'll dig a little hole for it. And we can just have a little hole of gravel. Goodbye, gravel. We don't need you. However, There's so much of it in the base. It's like 500,000 there, 40,000, 36,000, 30,000, 27,000, 75 there, 30,000 there. We're going to let this run for a while. There is no fear of running out of gravel at any time in the near future, considering that our refineries are actively making gravel at this moment, which is just compounding the issue. All right. Well, beyond that, the other things that I've done is, of course, we've upgraded all the guns. I decided to just all go for to go for the battleship cannons, and they should have, yep, all their shells in them, ready to go. I'm probably going to add small cargo containers down here just so I can put more shells, but maybe I won't. We just gotta see how long it's going to take until boat is ready. It's going to be probably a while. I'm thinking this episode we got it started. It'll probably take another 2 episodes until it's properly built and fueled and ready to go. Because the other thing we need to do, which we'll do this, and this will probably be good for the episode. We need to get a conveyor tube from our base into this thing in position before this is closed up. And we need to go through relatively benign stuff. So I'm thinking right here, if I go through that side, I could plug into that conveyor port, and then from there it's just basic armor replacement. Or even here, this is even simpler. It's just punch through the sidewall, and then we're good. So from that, I'll probably come off of here, and I'll just grab some steel plate. Come on. I need like 100-something steel plate. Mr. Build and Repair, I'm going to shut you up for a moment, because you are taking all my steel plate that I need. Give me like 50. That'll probably be enough. Hey, there we go. Alright, Build and Repair. You can get back to work. So then from here, we're going to go tube and outwards. I cannot place a tube against that? Oh, interesting. I can place a tube against the Build and Repair, that's for sure. Which probably is the best thing to do. We'll just tube our way out here. Absolutely tubular. And I'll also start building these up, because Build and Repair is awesome like that. And this way, we'll have the conveyor access to the boat. So we'll be able to refuel it as much as we can. And we might... What do we want to do here? I'm going to go up a couple blocks to go into that. Now this armor up here is just like too intricate. Let's dive down, 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 and then one more, then curve in, go through that block, and go to that block. And then this is the hydrogen tank. And if I can get this built, because if I can get that started and I can get this hydrogen tank built, I can start filling that hydrogen tank while it build the rest of the ship around it. Which reminds me, I should probably turn off this collector for now, because I probably have tons of ice. More than likely. Yes, I have about like I have way more than enough ice right now. So I can run my H2O2 gens the next while, filling up tanks, which is awesome. I might have to make more H2O2 gens, because that is a large tank, and that is probably going to take all my fuel, which is going to be very annoying. Like, even with the fact that I'm going to have easier building time because of build and repair, like, just the amount of effort that it's going to take to do, like, trips to... I'm going to need to easily take another trip to Cobalt very soon. I'm going to have to take more trips to the oil to get more stuff for Buoyancy Foam. Like, there's going to be so much work to build just this boat, which I'm labeling as a Corvette. Like, the smallest class that I could conceivably make into, like, a proper boat. Because, like, look at it. It's only about, say, like... It's, like, 9 blocks wide and, like, 40 blocks long. Like... This isn't that big of a ship. But we're gonna make it work. Yeah. I am going to get this conveyor connected as soon as possible, make sure all of my production is working full time, and get that hydrogen tank built and filling as soon as possible, as well as probably beef up my hydrogen production, because it's going to need it. Then beyond that, just gather resources. That's going to be it for now. We're making a boat. Oh, and I need names. Post name ideas in the comments and send them to me on Discord. That's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.